Some of the stresses are even important. Like now, for example, you are preparing for exam. Tomorrow you had an exam. Tonight you are kind of not feeling even well in terms of sleeping. You won't be sleeping well. There's this thought that you have, how will the exam be? Such kind of stress even is more important because it makes you awake, work for that paper, and tomorrow you succeed when the paper comes.
The internet will give you diagnoses nowadays before even a psychologist diagnoses you. And what that creates is, it even creates more anxiety in you. We have so many words going around right now with narcissism, depression. You might feel a little bit sad, ADHD, bipolar, delusions.
Yes.
You are a child who has grown up not knowing what kind of identity you have. The main pain is that when you lose yourself, there's a lot of pain that comes with it. So what you do is, first of all, identify yourself. Become aware of who you are. Create that system for yourself. Who am I? What kind of values do I have?
Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Thank you for joining us again for another session of Q&A. We are continuing with the questions that we haven't managed to address in the last episodes. And with me I have Munira Hassan and Zakaria Mohammed, fellow psychologist, and my name is Abid Shukri. And I will really want us to dive directly to one of the questions, and I want to come to you, Munira. So the viewer said, all my self-esteem issues stem from my mother, harsh words. I'm not even confident in myself, and all Islamic videos talk about how we should respect our mothers, but mine only says and does evil things to me. How am I supposed to deal with this?
Wow, that's actually a very heavy question. So I can imagine how disappointed, guilty, and all the emotions that might be surrounding this viewer. One thing I will tell you is, yes, there is birrul walidain, there is the mother aspect whereby our mothers are the doors of Jannah. But then again, ask yourself, why were they given the reason, or why are they our doors to Jannah? Isn't it because of the amal of the doing of good, the doing of being a caregiver, the doing of someone who is there for you and all that? There is a reason why viewers, or why a mother is supposed to be, Jannah lies under her.
Yeah.
But then again, you also have rights. In Islam, you also have rights. I recently got to know, and I don't know the authenticity of this, but I recently was told that when we go into the day of judgment, Allah won't ask a parent, how did you parent, as the first person. He will ask the child, how did your parents parent you?
Okay.
See, it's so mind-baffling when I realized that. How did your parents parent you? And then the child will talk about the parenting style of the parent.
Okay.
And then now Allah will summon the parent and ask the parent, how did you parent your child? I have no authenticity towards this, but when I heard of this, I thought to myself, how much value Allah has placed in the person the act is being done to, and not the person doing the act. So as much as you have rights and you have responsibilities, I know our society overemphasizes, not just emphasizes, overemphasizes on the haq of parents, on birrul walidain.
Yes.
But I'm yet to see a person or someone talk about birrul awlad. Sheikh Jamaluddin was the first person that I actually heard him talk about how a parent's abusive nature can become an issue. And then later on, I got to know Mufti Meng talked about it and all.
Okay.
So how will you overcome this? It's first of all, the mirror you see yourself. If you're a daughter who has had an issue with your mother, who has developed an emotional damage from the mother, realize that the mirror you see yourself in is the mirror that you've created or your mom has created. If the parent is narcissist parents, and I hope we talk about this one day, inshallah.
Yes.
Narcissistic people will always want to put their image on you, the kind of image that they want to see about themselves on you. So they don't value your identity. And if you are a child who has grown up not knowing what kind of identity you have, the main pain is that when you lose yourself, there's a lot of pain that comes with it. So what you do is, first of all, identify yourself. Become aware of who you are. Create that system for yourself. Who am I? What kind of values do I have? I normally have a template that I use with my clients, whereby they try to look for who they are using those. So throughout the sessions, you will be observing yourself and asking yourself, what are the personal traits that I have? What kind of view do I have of myself and all that? Second thing is process the emotions. I know you're trying to look at yourself from a perspective of maybe I'm the wrong person, but also acknowledge the fact that you are also a victim towards this behavior, towards the fact that you are not given the rights that you needed to have, you are not provided the emotional support that you are supposed to have. So instead of blaming yourself, look at yourself, empathize with yourself. Not sympathy only, empathize with yourself. Understand the way you are feeling, where is it coming from? Understand the fact that where you are feeling is actually legit, is actually justified. Now from there, when you understand yourself, accept your parent as they are. Sheikh Jamaluddin had mentioned 4 reasons that parents are the way they are. And I totally support that. There are parents who have been traumatized themselves, who have never gotten the best parenting styles that they should have gotten. There are parents who lack faith. If you have Iman, when you have Iman, you have to work on the fact that I need to change this aspect of my Iman. And then another thing is, there are some parents who don't know a better way. They have never learned how to parent. They become first-time parents when they were too young, for example, when they were children, they themselves. So how will they provide you with the emotional support that you need when they've never even experienced it themselves? So understand that also their lack of being like that, or telling you such evil or bad words, is also a thing from their own past, and they have to work on that. It doesn't have anything to do with you. So how will you overcome this? Parentify yourself. There are ways you can parentify yourself. There are ways whereby you can sit down, ask yourself those questions. Normally visualize as if the adult you is the parent to a smaller you, the younger you, by taking a picture, looking at it, and then when you're meditating, meditate by seeing it. Another way is also learning how to regulate your own emotions. If you've never had emotional support, that means your emotion regulation is very low. So learn about your emotions. That is, when someone asks you, how are you doing? Are you the type who says, I'm fine, or I'm okay? Are there any other verbs or ways that you can express your feelings? So analyze and learn about yourself. Don't be stuck to that. I mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. Take back your power. Your power doesn't lie with your parents forever and ever. You also are powerful. There's a certain age when you reach, it becomes your responsibility for what is happening to you. It's no longer, oh, I grew up with my parents, this and this. No, it's now your responsibility to be the kind of person you want to be.
Munira has really covered this specific, very sensitive question well, and you have also introduced a lot of big words. There's aspect of self-parentification and a lot of other words that I would love maybe one day we sit together and talk about them in details on like how can someone, because when you tell me self-parentify yourself, I'm sure some people are asking themselves, how can we do that? And we don't have much time to really address all those, but we will create time and talk about those specific subtopics. Munira talked about Sheikh Jamaluddin on the aspect of abusive parent, and some of you guys might be wondering like, who is that? Don't worry, go ahead and join our YouTube channel. There's a whole 1 hour session where Sheikh Jamaluddin talked about abusive parent and how to deal with that. That will be it for today. Thank you so much for joining us another session of question and answers. Still, we have a lot of questions left for us to address, and we will be having more episodes in the coming sessions. But I'm sure some of you guys might have like questions popping up, concerns popping up in your mind. Please do not hesitate to DM us in our social media. Those DMs are specifically confidential. Your identity will be confidential with us, and you're safe. You're in a safe hand. So if you have any concerns, anything to be addressed, share with us. Don't hesitate.